What's up, guys? This is the Last Level Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Jason. Alongside me is my main man, Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hey, everybody.
This is our podcast where we talk about video games and video game news, recent news, things like that. I'm going to tell you now, guys, this is going to have a lot of Star Wars in it. No, kidding. Thanks for joining us. How you been, Phil? How's everything?
Good. Just living the dream. Playing some Diablo still.
Living the dream, you say. Playing some Diablo. How's Diablo treating you?
Well, has its good days, has its bad days. Pretty good right now. I finally, I'm almost geared, so I can ignore it pretty soon, and I'll be a happier man afterwards.
After
I can ignore Diablo.
After Diablo, huh?
I understand it's a sickness. I don't know what to tell you, and I know that it's a problem in my life.
Yeah.
And that I just ignore other shit.
It's funny too because it's obviously it's a bigger thing, but I look at you and I'm like, what an idiot, and then I go to play something like Candy Crush or something. It's just like, what a loser, wasting all his time. It's very in between. That's your in between thing.
It is.
But it's
my
like
tweener. But it takes over my life. So it's more like everything else is my in between.
Yeah.
And then Diablo's just crack.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's get started. Let's talk about some news all around the webs.
Intrawebs.
I don't know where to go. All I want to do is go out and drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get this going. So top news. First off, GTA is out on PC.
Yeah, huh?
Now, I know you're not a big GTA fan.
No, I don't even a little bit.
But I like GTA, and I think one of the big things that works for GTA on PC is that you get to create all these mods. I think no, it's already happening.
Yeah, but it's not. So here's the really interesting part about that is it's not actually sanctioned by Rockstar.
Yeah.
So as of now, we can create all these mods and download them and play them and all those good words.
Yeah.
But Rockstar hasn't come out and said that they're okay with it or that they're against it. So like most companies will come out and they'll be like, "Hey, here's some mod tools. Go for it. Have a great time. Go for it." But Rockstar's actually stayed silent.
Well, they let a lot of mods go through for GTA 4 too.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, and this is the funny thing about that. I don't have a PC. I don't have a laptop, and we're working on that, people. We're working on
eventually.
But I think for me, that game in particular is a game that I would get for PC.
Just for mods.
Yeah, because you see all the shit that they do on those, and it's just like, holy shit, I could be Iron Man.
Or you could be a deer.
Yeah, that was stupid. I don't care about that.
But
you can kick like Superman. That's like shit like that makes
you can turn off gravity.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Like what people have already implemented because it's been out maybe a couple weeks now.
Not even.
Yeah,
like 2 weeks.
It's not been long. They've already done a lot with the code and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a big game, and have you seen some of the the graphics? You see they're trying to they were benchmarking. I forgot on what, but it looks beautiful on PC, man.
Yeah, as long as you got a PC that can run it.
Yeah.
Just have a beast of a PC that can run it.
It's kind of a big thing. It's kind of a big file
to
have on your PC.
Big everything. It's eating up graphics cards that can't handle it. So.
Speaking of modding, I like that segue, don't you? Speaking of modding,
I
saw this on Polygon. So Valve's now going to let modders sell their work through Steam.
Yeah.
And they're starting with Skyrim, because it's one of the more popular ones that people tend to mod and have mods for. I thought this was interesting because it kind of plays off what we kind of talked about in episode 4, and going back to GTA is I maybe it's because it's fresh in my head, but all I'm thinking is how soon before, like you said, studios start saying that's great and all, but I do want a little portion of that. Because it is my game that you're making.
Yeah, it is. It is all of my code that you changed a bit of.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really good point. And I think it's interesting that they took a game like Skyrim and chose it first, not only for its popularity, but because of how many mods there already are for it. So there's a ton of mods for Skyrim. So they kind of went after a company in Bethesda that has openly shown they're okay with the mods.
Yeah.
They haven't shown they're okay with people making money off it.
Yeah.
But also I think Steam will be able to, because of the company they are and kind of the backing they have with the PC gamer and the PC world, is they might be able to start showing these companies like like, hey, we released this mod, and yeah, you're right, people got paid for it, but look at your sales spike.
Yeah.
Look at the money that you got from it from like a sales and a game perspective. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, we're right back to that kind of debate of like, hey, so you remixed my content.
Yeah.
Does that give you a right to profit off it?
Yeah. I don't know if maybe I'm assuming that Valve may have like talked
to Bethesda. Because at
like,
the same time, Skyrim's actually on sale. This is on sale right now, so it's down to like $15.
Yeah.
Which, if you've never played Skyrim and you have a PC,
play it.
Yeah, buy it.
Do it.
What the hell?
Don't even worry about the mods. Just play the damn game.
Yeah, but so for $15, what I think is interesting is like, so what is it going to do to support for mods that were free?
Yeah.
Do they go pay? If you downloaded it, do you still have to pay? Like, I wonder what that transition.
I may have like skimmed through. I don't think they're gonna like backlog what you've bought, like what you've used already. No. But there's certain ones that are like more popular that they're gonna start charging for.
Yeah, but so I mean, like, this is gonna sound stupid, but let's say a lot of times these mods evolve over time.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're just stuck with whatever mod you have in current shape if they then start paying for it?
Upgrade.
Or do you have to upgrade to the paid version and kind of go from there?
Yeah.
I think it's cool that, the content creators are going to start getting some money from it.
Yeah.
I also don't see why Bethesda shouldn't make a cut.
Which feels like a slippery slope because...
we don't know the deal behind it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So if I charge you $2 for my mod, maybe I'm getting $1, Steam's getting 50 cents, and Bethesda's getting 50 cents.
Maybe Valve has a partnership with them saying that they're going to get a portion of their Valve profit.
Yeah. Because
I'm sure that they're taking not as significant, but enough.
No, Valve's going to take money. It's not a question.
So that's interesting. Like kind of talking more specifically about that, I realize that you can't really mod too much on the consoles.
Yeah.
And I thought. It's just me, part of my ignorance. But do you think some of that like ties into like the whole content thing, like them, like publishers not caring that much because it's not affecting their console sales, because PC people are gonna
mod either way.
Yeah, exactly. Now that we're so mainstream with Valve and things like that, it makes it easier to put that content out there. But they've kind of accepted it as like, it is what it is. We might as well like let people do their thing. Maybe that'll help our awareness and stuff like that.
So I get that part of it, and like I understand the console part of like non-modding has a lot more to do with like having open access to different systems.
Yeah,
in the Xbox, the PS4. Yeah, we're going back. Which actually could be
Summer Jams.
Yeah.
I like saying that.
And the Wii U, it has more to do with like the architecture. It has to do with the code for it.
Yeah.
And the non-easeability of the code, and then other people have to do crazy stuff to get to that code. And that all has to do with preventing you from playing pirated games and pirated discs and illegal downloads and changing the OS.
Yeah.
That's why there's not mods on that stuff. But I'm intrigued. I'm more intrigued at if Steam hasn't worked in a way to pay the publishers or a way to pay the people from the original content to see what they're going to say when money starts being made and money starts rolling in.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Great example, Oblivion, right? Horse armor. That was a thing. You could buy horse armor.
Yeah.
$5 from Bethesda.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if I can now buy that from a modder for $2?
Yeah.
Well,
brilliant.
Right?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So as Bethesda, how are you okay with that? Or the same thing we talk about a lot of times with how DLC makes games last longer, and it kind of gives you a reason to own them past the minute, right?
Yeah.
Well, what if I buy the modders DLC instead of yours?
So I'm assuming.
I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm assuming that they're gonna kind of time everything, like especially with like newer games, that they're gonna say you're not gonna charge anyone, like you're not gonna allow modders to charge people for us like a newer game, more specifically, like let's say like GTA for example.
Yeah,
they're not, because it just came out on PC. They're gonna wait until, because they're gonna want like you're saying, like certain DLCs and certain things I get what you're saying, but they're not gonna allow people to make a certain mod that's similar to what they're doing and charge right away. You know what I mean? Like Skyrim's been out for what, 5 years, 4 years?
God, forever.
Yeah, right. So It is. I'm there with you though. I want to wait and see like how long before,
Because they're going to come for the money.
especially
They're
if they see people being really profitable with it. And the other thing I was wondering is who sets the prices for the like do the modders don't. I'm assuming
I
because
assume
it might be based on like what it is. So if it's an armor, this, or if it's like a location, this, or you know what I mean. Might be that, but I was wondering who sets the prices on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, there's still a lot of things we've yet to be seen, and you bring up a good point that Skyrim is pretty much past any intensive purpose for like Bethesda. They're not doing so much with it anymore.
Hopefully, they announce Fallout 4. Fallout 4?
Fallout 4 MMO.
No, I don't want that.
So I think maybe they do like maybe just older games, or they give a window to it, but still like
it's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Fallout 4 and future things that we might see at E3, did you see this, Phil? Square Enix is going to host their own press conference at E3. And I know you don't think that's a big deal.
No,
but
I don't.
Hear me out. Hear me out. So, I got this from GameSpot. They're going to showcase Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which you and I kind of are with the hype train with that. Final Fantasy 15. I'm excited. Rise of Tomb Raider. We expected that. We expected that because that's coming out in the fall, right? Yeah. And then a new Hitman project. No. Now, you don't like Hitman, right?
I was never... Well, I don't do stealth. I can't.
Well, some would argue that you don't need stealth to do that.
Yeah, you can get to the point where you don't.
Yeah. So, I've played a lot of Hitman games, and more specifically, I'm going to ask you this. Out of those 4 games... Because there's also they say that they might have other like smaller projects that they're gonna.
Well, they'll probably show some like mobile games they have coming out because they've been big into that lately.
Okay.
And I would assume they'd show something. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, maybe they stick to those. So I'd assume they have a Nintendo title coming at some point soon.
Yeah.
But that might be in the Nintendo Direct.
Of those 4 games, though, like I'm gonna ask you 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, and I think for our listeners, we kind of want to know what you're thinking about this. Out of those 4 games, which one do you know for a fact that you're going to be like super amped at, that you're going to see, and you already know that you kind of want to buy it, but this is going to like solidify it for you? And which one do you think out of those 4 might surprise you in that you know what, I'll give it a shot.
So super amped right off the bat is Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Lara Croft.
Yeah.
It's my main chick.
I loved the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Played it till I actually beat the game, which I have a huge problem beating games, but I actually beat it the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So that one, honestly, if they show me more of what they did before, I'd get it. Like I loved it.
It feels like they're gonna stick to what worked, and then it's gonna be a bigger game. It's gonna be the engine's gonna. I mean the gameplay mechanics gonna be hopefully improved, not messed with too much. Yep. But yeah, I'm there with you.
Is that one for you? That was the one you'd wanna.
So I think I'm. I'm really already sold on Rise of Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. I think for me, having played them, I want a new good solid Hitman.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you now, I am very skeptical because I played the last one, Blood Money, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Yeah. Because they keep trying. I think it's a weird thing because I feel like those games didn't do well with as the generations went on. Mm-hmm. The fact that you could do so much more and have more in it hurts it because it was very restricted. Mm-hmm. Playing on like PlayStation 2, things like that, like the originals, and because it was smaller, it had less you had to worry about. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at the texture and look at all that. The gameplay mechanics really were. They fit well with the times, and I feel like as they didn't know what to do with it.
Just like Sonic. Yep.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with it, and I'm really hoping that they take what they learned from Blood Money and everything, because Blood Money wasn't by any stretch like a terrible game. Like it had weird mechanics that I was just like bullet time. Why is everyone so fascinated with bullet time?
Everything had bullet time.
I was excited when I saw it in The Matrix. I was excited when I saw it in Max Payne. And then it's just like I could see myself doing this, but not all the fucking time.
Right.
And granted, you didn't have to use it, and I don't even think I use it as much. But for you to incorporate that and then not make it one an essential component of the game that you felt like you needed, and two, something that I feel like you wasted your time on. You know what I mean?
You could have been doing something else.
Yeah, and then forget Hitman was never something that the story was something that kept you. But it was something that kind of piqued your interest because it was this agent that has no real backstory. He's a clone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's getting vengeance because he's learning whatever. I don't care. But it was still pretty cool. What they did with Blood Money, they kind of humanized them, and he was like, "I care about this chick," and all this, and I was just like, "Dude, really? You were never that guy."
Yeah, we were in this together to kill.
Yeah,
come on, man.
And it was very it had. But I think I'm hoping that they're gonna kind of show what they're working towards, and I want that to impress me. I know Final Fantasy 15 is going to be good. I mean,
so that's actually the one I'm hoping is good.
Okay, so you're a little skeptical.
I'm way skeptical of 15.
Yeah, because you haven't seen a lot, or because of what you've seen.
Well, from what I've seen from the demo, I haven't played it.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to do a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm always nervous when more developer, whoever it is, I don't care how big you are, tries to do a lot like that.
Yeah.
So, if it really works that well, where it's flawless in and out of battles, and you kind of do your thing like that, the experience thing is just a different take. It doesn't really bother me as much.
Yeah.
It'll be, the one thing I don't understand about the experience thing is it'll be stupid if they just make that a mechanic and not work it into the game. And what I mean by that is if they make it that you could just go to camp and sleep and the day passes and there's no consequence, then that's stupid.
Yeah.
Or, it's whatever and you're out there killing and you've killed for 7 hours straight because you're just doing a binge, right?
Yeah.
And then you die, am I going to lose all that experience? Do I start over at that
Bloodborne?
camp? Yeah. Seriously, right?
Yeah.
But make it...
You got to be careful with that.
There's got to be a consequence, otherwise the camping becomes a hassle.
Yes.
And not part of the game.
Yeah.
And I get it. Oh, you can cook for better experience, and you eat this meat, and you get whatever stat bonus.
Okay.
Don't give a shit.
It's
They have to make it mean something, or
that mechanic feels like it's
just an add-on.
It's something that you don't even need. Yeah.
It's just hey. Yeah. You want to level up?
Yeah.
Go take a nap.
Yeah.
Why? Fucking just let me level up.
Well, there was another game that did that where it's Skyrim actually did that where you had to. Once you leveled up, you had to rest to
use
add the attributes and shit like that. That wasn't
bad,
but
stupid.
Yeah,
there's no point.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Just do it right away.
Yeah,
if you're gonna, or make it like a hub kind of thing where you have to go, but don't make it something where
or give it a consequence. So do stuff where hey, you're doing this side mission.
Yeah,
you have 5 days to complete it. So if you rest and you go to your camp.
Yeah.
That goes through a day. Now you got 4 days.
Yeah.
So if you need to power level, you better be out there power leveling all you can before you camp. And then on top of that, leave that element of if you die, you lose shit. Even if it's not all of it, you lose half or you something.
Yeah.
To make an actual consequence to it, I would love that if they went that direction with it. Problem is, I don't know. Maybe
you haven't played Persona 4 yet?
No.
Because there's consequences.
I never plan on playing that. That is way too much story for me.
It is. Well, I digress.
Too much.
I'm not even going to start. But no, I get that. I'm thinking that, they're probably going to add some sort of consequence to certain things. Obviously, main story campaign.
Yeah. Have you seen the level up system or the magics or anything?
No, have you?
No, I want to. I want to see So every Final Fantasy tries to do something different.
Yeah.
My favorite RPGs, or my favorite way of doing RPGs, is actually one I'm playing now, Fantasy Life for DS.
Fantasy Life. There's a second one coming out.
Is there?
I think it's going to mobile though.
Oh. Is literally if you attack with a spell that is fire, you level up your fire spell skill. And
so the skills you use.
That's the stuff I like to see in those games.
Yeah.
I hate seeing you just use a sword the whole time, but let me put points into my bow, that kind of stuff, or put points into dex so I can use a bow,
I think I can't remember, but I think there's classes that your classes are interchangeable, so it might be based on that, You know what I'm saying? You can use XP, but on specific classes. Now I'm wondering if like the XP you gain is only to that class or to you can figure out what you want to do with it. Right. You know what I mean? But we'll find out more about it closer to it because I think it's still pretty far away.
You think so? When do you think it comes out?
Next year. Like I think
like holiday 2016?
I think they're gonna announce it for fall. I think if they haven't already, they might have for holiday 2016. But I still think even if they do that, it's still gonna get pushed.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna make it. Because I agree with you. Like your initial point, I think this game feels like make or break.
Yeah.
Like it really does.
So
it has that like it's weird.
Well, they need to, right?
Yeah, but
what is Final Fantasy anymore? When Final Fantasy 9 and 10 dropped, it was Final Fantasy. Everybody knew it. They loved it. They bought it based off name. Yeah. Like, it didn't matter. Yeah. Just the name came out, right? Yeah. And then they did the online shit, which kind of got really mixed reviews. Yeah. And then they messed around.
I like 10, so fuck you. Don't even know.
Well, no, yeah. 10, no, but after 10, they went online. Yeah. They did 11.
Yeah.
And then they had 12.
I didn't like 12.
Most people didn't.
Our buddy LeVar liked it.
Yeah.
But
it didn't come out to much fanfare, though.
Yeah.
13 was another online one?
No, 13 was
real.
Normal. 13 was the one that, and you
went
know,
actiony, right?
Listeners, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I played it, I could not get into it, and it seemed like one of those ones where it didn't like do well, but they marketed it like it was successful. Where they released a 13-2, and Lightning Returns and all that, where it was like because a lot of people like the character Lightning. I didn't really feel the gameplay, and I didn't like the story at all. Like, because I've always been like a huge fan of, certain stories, especially with Final Fantasies. Like, I liked 9s, I liked 10s. Mm-hmm. I did not like 8s, and 7s was 7s. Yeah, like, you know what I mean.
You can't say anything.
It's that one part. Yeah, it's that one part.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's fucking Ares.
Damn you. How dare you make me feel?
But I was like I did not like Snow. Snow was the dude in it. Granted, I didn't finish it all the way through. Yeah. It had token black guy doing the throw, and he had a chick in his he had a baby chick in his hair.
Right.
What the fuck's that? But it's Final Fantasy, whatever. But yeah, I feel like this one is very like all or nothing. Like we're showing you these things because hey, this is the new generation. I mean, this is the current generation thing. Yeah. It's bigger. It's better. It's gonna have this, this, and this. Like, please buy it. You know.
Well, I think I think you're right, and I think Microsoft stepping up and using money for Tomb Raider kind of further proves that. Yeah. Because it shows that they didn't even have resources to step outside and make another Tomb Raider themselves.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I think that speaks volumes about its kind of its situation it's in, and also. They're making just bank off remasters and porting shit to mobile. Yeah. And doing all that crap. So I don't even know how much they care.
I mean, you do what you can. Yeah, I'm sure, I don't know, a lot of different companies are deciding whether or not, maybe not like right now, but long term, whether or not they're going to start switching more to mobile.
Yeah, but not even so long. Even long term is now, right?
That's true.
That Final Fantasy, how long do you think they've been making it? It has to have been years.
Yeah.
When did 13 come out?
That's true. 13, oh God, 5 years ago?
5 years?
6 years ago?
Yeah, so...
God, it's weird now that I think about it. Maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, I think Final Fantasy 15's got to show more, and it will. But I really want Hitman... Going back to the initial point, I really want Hitman to impress me. I know Rise of Tomb Raider is going to be awesome. It's going to be good. I already like how they're setting up the trailers and everything. And that's one of those games where, I mean, you're going to want to see gameplay, but you also want to make sure that the tone's the same. And if you have the tone the same, which they showed in the trailer, it's the same. Yeah. That you're going to grab people right off the bat. You know what I mean?
It's got that gritty feel.
Oh, God, so good.
Because it went back to her being from her being a master of everything to just not being able to do shit. Yeah. And then she's got to kind of learn through it and,
kind of segueing into big AAA studios that have shoes to fill. Can we talk about Star Wars Battlefront?
Oh, God.
Now, I know that you know that I am a huge Star Wars fan.
I think I've picked up on that over the days.
And people will start to learn that I am a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I saw the trailer and my initial thing was I like what DICE is showing us. I do. But the more I think about what this game might be, the more I am worried that EA is gonna fuck this up. And the thing I think about with it has to do more with like what they've done with Battlefield. And I like Battlefield. I do, and you know that. And I've talked about it on this podcast. I like Battlefield 4. I love Battlefield 3. Hated Hardline.
I was just saying, you loved Hardline.
I hated that expansion. It's fucking expansion.
I don't think you hated Hardline.
No, it's EA fucking did it. They did it to me again.
I don't think... Hold on. I don't think you hated Hardline.
Yeah.
I think you were upset at lack of content.
Yeah.
So
I am, but
you like the gameplay.
Here's what they're doing.
You like what happened in it. You didn't hate the game for what it was. You just felt there wasn't enough there.
And here's my worry. Here's my worry with but the only thing with the biggest difference with Titanfall is
it's its own game and it's its own thing.
Well, think about the developer. That's not EA.
Right.
Like EA has the potential to do so much. They have the money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, like I'm watching the trailer, and granted it's a trailer. Now I'll tell you this: they announced that it's November 15th that it releases this
November
year.
17th.
17th. Sorry, 15th is I think 17th is UK, but it doesn't matter. November
It's GameStop ahead.
Whatever.
You know why
Fine.
I know that?
Because you're a GameStop.
It's my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Releases on my birthday.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody's like, it's a hard lock date. Like, it's not changing.
It's
gonna get pushed. That game is getting pushed. I don't care what it... I'm calling it now. What day is it? April 23rd, 2015. That game is going to get pushed to next year.
What does EA have coming out this year?
Think about it. But Hardline just came out.
Yeah.
And there's no DLC for it yet.
It's two separate studios, though.
Okay, it's the same publisher, right? And that's the kind of game that has longevity. And I get that. Like, it's two different developers that are releasing that. So they've been working on it simultaneously.
Do you think it gets pushed?
They're not showing enough.
Do you think it gets pushed from a not ready, or because they don't want to step on themselves?
A little bit of both. I think they're doing it because they're kind of they're pairing it with the movie.
Right.
So the movie comes out in Christmas.
Right.
And in December, I don't know.
So do you think it gets pushed to next year or pushed to the launch of the movie?
No, to next year. I think it's 2016 spring game. I really do. Okay. I think, and it bothers me that people are convinced that it's like, hey, it's going to come out November 15th. Like, they're not going to push it back. I really don't see them, because I think that they've been quiet about it. They released a trailer. Like, they have to at the Star Wars conference. They have to, because that's what a big majority of the people are caring about for that. And I'm excited to see what they do. They just showed us a trailer of them using the in-game engine to show a movie about the game. Like, you know what I mean?
Actually,
and
show gameplay.
I'm glad that and a lot of people are like, why is there no campaign? I'm glad there's no campaign. If you're going to use the prequel only, you don't need a fucking campaign.
You know
Watch the damn movie.
Yeah, you know the campaign.
I do like that they're going to have, like, missions that you can do, and, like, I hope that they tweak them and, like, okay, different difficulties, or you can do this.
Yeah, like Destiny.
Because that kind of frees them up to do whatever they want with those missions, not confine them to a stupid ass campaign that you don't need to do.
Yeah,
that's a good positive. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of maps off the bat. I think it's going to suffer with lack of content, and that's my reason that I think they're going to push it. I think that they're going to look at everything and be like, they're not going to say this openly, but they're going to look at everything and be like, all right, a lot of people are complaining that Hardline is way too... Because remember, it's an EA game. I get that it's its own developer, but it's their image, right? They're going to say, a lot of people thought that there was no content. We're using this same engine, Frostbite engine, so it's going to look relatively the same.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. Now, it's going to have a different feel to it because it's blasters and it's space warfare. Not even space. They're not even in fucking space. They're not doing any space battles, Phil.
That's going to be...
Like, what
they've been talking about that's going to be...
If you tell me that's DLC, all the more reason I don't think that fucking game's coming out this year.
No, that makes more sense. If they're looking at it more from like hey, we can release this game with X amount of maps and then plan for the DLC to release spring 2016, why not?
Well, guess what ties into EA's idea of this? It's going to happen. They're going to announce some sort of premium edition if they haven't already. Like with Battlefields, the Battlefield Premium, which is $50.
Yeah.
So you're talking to tell people, and people are gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sound like a hypocrite and say I might not do it. I will probably do it. But what's gonna piss me off is
that you pre-ordered a game.
Well, not even that I pre-ordered the game. That I am committing $50 to future content as well. But then you're still gonna release something that's feels like you still restricted me even more of this content. Like, I'm not expecting you to release everything all at once, but you have. I think as a developer, and EA can do what they want because they're EA, but at the same time, like, to do right by your fans and to do right by the people because there's a lot of people that are just buying this game because it's Star Wars, not because it's a dice game, not because it's EA.
Yep.
I think you have to make sure that you're going to grab them right off the bat, because otherwise you're going to lose out on a good amount of money. Even if they're still going to make a lot of money, but even more so, hand over fist, people will give money if like the game is good. And that's another thing. I think DICE has shown that they will push games back because of stability and because of fine tuning and because of this. They still messed up. I get that. They still messed up. All the more reason I still feel like this game, and I keep reiterating it, it's going to get pushed back.
I don't, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I don't think it does. And
that's what you're here for.
The reason I don't think it does is I think, so it's a business, right, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they're going to see money signs. So
yeah.
Why would you not cash in on the hype train that is
That's
Star
true.
Wars with the launch? I can see it pushed back to day-and-day release. So, like, hey, go watch the movie and go buy the game.
Yeah.
I can 100% see that, so it slips like a month.
Yeah.
I don't see it missing Christmas, and I do not see it in 2016. It's just too easy to sell that game with the movie ticket. Way too freaking easy. Because think about it this way. They're going to market the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's free marketing for your freaking game.
Sure.
Like, that is... Because it's all about brand recognition.
There's not many more brands bigger than Star Wars.
Yeah. And I think part of it, too, though, is so, right, they planned this shit out, right?
Yeah.
They knew years ago that this is the route they want to go.
Yeah.
I think Hardline slip is more of
the developer.
What makes me... Well, the fact that it slipped into 2016 is what makes... 2015, sorry.
Yeah.
is what makes me look at, like, that gap is too small between Hardline and Battlefront.
Okay.
But if the other developer can stay on point DICE, I don't think they fault them for it.
Okay.
The only way I see them moving it is if they think Hardline can grow legs and continue to sell, and that they will feel like they're going to cannibalize themselves. Yeah. Otherwise, no, I think they put it out there. And I see it slipping the month. I don't see that as a big deal. But man, you gotta go for that Christmas, and you gotta take the fucking brand from the
kind of listening to what you're saying. I feel like that situation is twofold too, because you're talking. So EA, the publisher, thinking this cash cow, and we don't want it's a coincide with Battlefield or Hardline, or we want to make sure you hit the date. But same kind of thing. What if the developer themselves, technically speaking, I still feel like. I'm gonna wait till E3 to really decide whether or not I still think this game's gonna come out. But I still feel like if E3 is anything, because they're not gonna show much at the Star Wars conference. They're just gonna do what they did, and I'm glad they did what they did.
They teased it, yeah.
But although they're still pretty quiet in general, about it. But we'll wait till E3, see what they show there. And make our decisions, but I still feel like it's not coming out 2015.
No, it's got to. It has to. From a money perspective, how could you miss that?
Fair enough.
It's such a good opportunity.
Yeah.
And like you say, EA's big enough. If they have to, they'll pull their other teams and put them on it. I don't think they let that slip. Now,
give me a half-ass game.
I was gonna say, what kind of game comes out is a whole different question.
Yeah.
But I do think they release it this year and coincide with the movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You're gonna be like, hey, it's all multiplayer.
What's
our servers are down.
Well, that's on them, but it's also on Xbox and PlayStation. But that's a whole different story. So what's good enough for you? You said Hardlines came out with not enough content, right?
Yeah.
So is that because the content wasn't original? Because
I think that's
Battlefield?
Yeah.
Or was that not enough? So how many maps does Battlefield holy crap, Star Wars have to give you?
Yeah.
To make you feel it was worth the $60?
Well, I think more so, I can't put a specific number on it, and I think that it's a fair argument to say like you can't know how many, because I feel like it depends on the content in relation to those maps. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, like the different kind of modes, or
Okay,
you know
so
what I'm saying.
How many modes and maps? Do you need?
I'd say a good number is between, honestly, like between 10 to 12 maps.
Maps.
Yeah, because I think they announced like there's 4 planets.
Yeah.
And again, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, people. I know you will, but I think 10 to 12 maps is because I think Call of Duty releases with between 8 to 10 maps. And again, like it also depends on how well those maps are made. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they are like fully finished, or if there's a lot of different gaps, and you know there's unbalancing and things like that. But for me, it depends on the modes that they're going to be. If they bring in over conquest, okay, fine. But if you literally just carry over like all the different modes and then add in like one specific Star Wars one.
So you want them to come up with a brand new mode?
More than one.
Multiple brand new modes.
Even if, like, clearly they're going to have their own version of Capture the Flag. They're going to have their own version of, but like
they'll
I think
have Team Deathmatch. They'll have Capture the Flag. They'll have
Conquest.
Conquest.
But like I think a big part of it is like, and I get like they might release it in DLC, but if you have nothing related to space battles, because Star Wars Battlefront 2, and you know they fucking had it. Like,
yeah, but Front 1 did it?
I don't. They might have, but either way, it's a step back when you think about it. Like in that regard. You know what I mean? Unless they do something with it. You know what I mean?
Could be the DLC. I would say Star Wars games have a history of releasing without space battles and having it later. Their MMOs both did it.
Okay.
And here we are with Battlefront. It's the same thing.
It's too close.
That's my fear of it.
It's too close.
Is that it's going to be a reskin of Battlefield 4.
Same engine.
It is, right?
But you can use the same engine and have different. I get it.
Right, so it's all going to depend on like the physics and the feel of the guns and the way they do that kind of stuff. And that's my fear of it.
Yeah.
Isn't so much that there won't be enough content, because I think
it's a relative thing.
Right, it's very relative. Like, so to one person it's not enough, and another person there's plenty, right?
Yeah.
Because if you love one mode and one map, that'll be enough.
Yeah,
because you're going to play the crap out of it. But if none of them grab you and tug at you like that, then it's not going to be enough, because you're still searching for the one you love, right?
Yeah.
So my bigger fear is, because of Hardline, that it's going to be a reskin again, and it's not going to feel really any different, any better.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I just want to... They better let me... I know there's not going to be space stuff. They better still let me tie up the legs of a AT-AT.
Oh, yeah. They probably will. Dude, they gotta have some...
Because they're going to have the Hoth... They showed the Hoth planet, and they showed him flying it.
Yeah. They're just like, I can't do it.
God,
it's okay. I almost corrected you, but I'm not gonna. It's okay. But I am super excited for that. I'm excited for the movie. And even that trailer, the trailer that they released, and
just fanfare.
Yeah, it was just like
pure fanfare.
This is all just. Speaking of fanfare, let's talk really quick.
Yeah.
Because I got to get something off my chest.
Yes.
It's not game related.
Okay.
But it's very geeky related.
Yeah.
The Batman v Superman trailer.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that trailer?
So I don't know. People really won't know this about me, but I don't really like trailers anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think they're stupid. They're never what's there. You know whose trailers I've actually liked is World of Warcraft, because they'd use in-game stuff.
Yeah. And
they'd actually show like some fights and shit. Not the point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care, because So here's my problem with it is I feel like they're just setting it up for disappointment, because they're setting up like this epic fist fight between Superman and Batman.
Never the case.
And it never ends that way.
Never. It barely begins that way.
Well, they'll fight for a little bit, maybe like a minute or two, and then they'll be like, well, this is dumb, and this is why it's dumb, and let's go do this instead.
Yeah.
Like, it's never this one-on-one fight, like, because both of them understand the stupidity of that.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where like people are like getting enraged by like, oh, you can't have Batman fights Superman. You can't like
Well,
Superman would kill him in a
Well,
second.
this is not true.
Like, well, it's not even matter that because you love Batman and
Well, there was in the comic where Batman actually beat Superman.
but it's
It's a comic.
well, it's well, not only that, but like he's very meticulous in his research. He's a very good prepper.
Yeah.
Like, but
He's got
at the
money.
same time, like
He is EA.
let's be real, guys. Like, it's not gonna be
No, it's
one of those
not.
situations. That's why Wonder Woman's in it. That's why like Lex Luthor's in it. Like, it's gonna be a situation where like right now they're just having a pissing contest,
Yeah.
and it's like, and that's all it's gonna be. Yeah, they might throw a punch or two, but clearly, like Superman can in this context, he can just fuck him up.
Yeah.
But Batman's not stupid.
Yeah.
He has one of the best minds ever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, just let the movie come out. Like, I get everyone wants to overthink, like, over critique it. Oh, it has to be this way. It has to be. Just let Zack Snyder do what he does, and we'll see what happens. Like, I think the movie's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be like anything you like. I think it's gonna be just like Man of Steel. I liked Man of Steel. I didn't love Man of Steel. I didn't think it was the best thing ever.
Did you watch Man of Steel?
Yeah, I thought, because I think about it like this. I thought solely off the ending, I thought what they did was interesting to me.
Okay.
Because Superman doesn't kill people. Like, related why he doesn't kill. He snapped that dude's neck like nobody's business. He felt bad about it, but like it was one of those things where I was just like,
face with millions of dollars and felt bad.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. So if they can bring that in, like little things like that, like I'm okay with that kind of stuff. I don't.
Well, because they're trying to humanize him.
Well,
but so here's the deal, though.
You can't. I mean, it's fucking Superman.
So I don't want that. Like, you can't humanize Superman. You can't.
Okay.
Many times they've tried, and they always do it normally through the love interest. Mm-hmm. So they always make him into this thing that can be hurt because he loves either the people or because he loves those...
His main chick.
Right, his main chick. So there's always like that factor to it, but I'm nervous that they're trying to do a Batman to it.
Okay.
Where they humanize Batman, at least in the first 1 and 2.
Batman is human.
Right, but they he's a superhuman, right? He's a superhero.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But they humanized him. They brought him to our level by, breaking him down, making him work for it, breaking his back and making him have to come back from that.
Very half-assed thought.
Yeah, that was way quick. That's a whole different story. Like, you're in a hole with a broken back.
Yeah.
Now you're okay.
Let's just wait 6 months to roll out the plan. Like, don't give it a week. Let's let Batman heal. He has to kill us. Kick our ass, I mean. I'm sorry.
He's got a minute.
Well, he did kill them.
Oh.
No, he didn't. I know.
But it's the same deal, and, like, they're trying, and he's not humanized. He's not one of us. He's not going to die.
Yeah.
He doesn't have all these problems. Yeah. Don't fucking give him to him.
Yeah.
So...
It's weird, too, because, like, I guess a big part of people's argument with that is that he grew up on Earth, and he kind of, even though he knew he was different... Yeah, even though he knew he was different, he was raised as a human. Yeah. And so he has those same kind of feelings, and they kind of tie him to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, you can make it's hard. It is hard to make him kind of like try to balance him with everyone else.
Because the idea is that he has all this unlimited power. Yeah. That's the problem. He has unlimited power, right?
He can just vaporize.
Yeah. So what the fuck? Why doesn't someone like? Oh, there's this issue. Well, I killed him. Well, so, and then you go to the next one, and you're like, oh, well, we have another issue. Well, nope, I took care of that too, because he has all the fucking power.
Yeah, and it's one of those, and I hate to quote Marvel on this because we're talking about DC, but Spider-Man, like, one of the best quotes is, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the battle for him, because he's trying to be like, hey, I'm one of you guys, but I also want to protect you because I'm not one of you guys. Right. And I get that, like, because his parents raised him to say, like, do the right thing.
But here's that's the thing that blows my mind, is he has all this fucking power. Yeah. And there's so many things he could do to protect us and do things for us. Yeah. And half the time he doesn't. Yeah. And
like kill people, you're talking about?
Well, no, not even kill people. Like, but so he made his Fortress of Solitude, right? Yeah. So why does he just take the fucking bad guys there?
I don't want them in my house.
I get it.
I don't want them in my house.
Right? So he has this place that nobody can fucking get to or get out of once you're in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bring the bad guys there and leave them, and then come back to the peaceful planet. There's just so many issues with, like, trying to make him human and bring him to our level, which Batman doesn't have because he is human.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I'm interested because I think this is like, obviously DC has some catching up to do when it comes to the comic cinematic universe and everything like that. But at the same time, like don't try to like
they're trying to Avengers it.
Well, not even, because it's the opposite kind of tone of Avengers. Avengers is all like hippity boppity and like.
I meant Civil War. They're trying to Civil War.
How so?
So, because I could see this as Civil War basically is about ideals, right?
For Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, for Marvel.
Just for people.
It's ideals.
Yeah.
What it comes down to.
Yeah.
That to me is the only way I see this movie going.
Yeah.
Is Batman and Superman have to be fighting about an ideal.
Okay.
And they either at the end of it decide they don't care about each other,
or there's someone else in the mix,
or the ideal is something they end up agreeing upon,
which is Luthor.
Yeah, but maybe it's what to do with him.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I'm saying,
right.
I think at the end of the day, like I think Jesse Eisenberg, which I think he's going to be a great Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, whatever.
Same.
But I think he's going to be great because he's I've seen him be an asshole.
Yeah.
But still be a guy that like people can be like, oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's a dick. You know what I mean? But I think
an actor.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I'm saying in the roles he plays, he's good at that.
Yeah.
He has a good range.
Because he's an actor. Keep going.
There's people who can't do that though. But anyways, I think that they're gonna kind of make this, and I hope that like this whole Dawn of Justice thing, that it doesn't automatically become Justice League. I don't know how the fuck you do that. And
not.
Well, because their idea of that is now they're gonna have Wonder Woman movie. They're gonna have all these other movies. But at what point do we see Dawn of Justice then?
Right.
I mean, a Justice League movie. You know what I mean? Because if they're going straight to that, I get that. Like I'm okay.
They could. I mean, if they want to, they don't even have to do. So
but
they're going to.
You know what I mean? Like that's.
I think Marvel was interesting the way it came out with the Avengers, and they kind of introduced everyone in the background, and then brought them all together for the Avengers, right?
Yeah, and DC can't follow that model.
I would have loved to see, instead of that, almost like the offshoots, and then they always kind of hint at the League or hint at the other people in it instead of their own movie with just that. Because I like the separate superhero movies better than like the Avengers movie.
Okay.
Because it's almost it's just really hard to believe. So let's say Iron Man, right? It's great.
Yeah.
You watch it, all this crazy shit's happening, right? Yeah. And then you have all these other Iron Men because he builds all the suits. Then he has to defeat them all with a rookie dude in an Iron Man suit with him.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens after the Avengers, which it didn't, I get that.
Yeah.
If it happens after the Avengers, why don't you just call his friends in? Right? So to me, every movie past that team up.
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck are they alone?
Yeah.
Why don't they just?
Yeah.
They have a group of friends. They all hang out. They don't always like.
Don't they have like wristwatches or something?
Right. They used to.
Like
they had that.
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, but what was it? Was it a wristwatch? They had something to like call for help. In the comics.
Yeah,
to like call for each other's help.
That's something.
But so
it's just Facebook.
But that's my problem. Like, so you guys all hang out together.
Yeah.
But you solve all your problems separately.
Winter Soldier is a perfect example of that. Yep. Like everything's going to shit, and like Captain America is trying to deal with all this stuff, and they're like, he's a fugitive. Why isn't like Tony Stark or somebody coming in like, you guys really think he did this?
Yeah.
Like look at that guy.
Just anybody of any, they're like, so that's a perfect example because shit is going to hell in DC, right? They're above DC at the time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're above the Capitol. Shit is going to hell, but all the American superheroes are like, whoa, this is my week off.
Yeah. Cap's got it.
I got this other thing going on.
Yeah.
I met this pretty little blonde.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't, to me, as soon as you bring them all together, it no longer makes sense. In the comic world, it's a little easier.
Sure.
Because they always talk about alternate universes and, hey, maybe they're not together at that point. Maybe they're alone or whatever thing is going on. Like, they can explain it away. But in the
movies, a continuous thing versus this is just like it's like...
And they're selling it to you in... They're selling you as this one continuous timeline to get you engaged.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it. I hate that idea. Like,
well said.
Oh, it just bothers me. Like, I imagine Iron Man is next to me watching Captain America get his ass kicked.
Fair enough.
Being like, dude, you got this.
Yeah. It's like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Like,
what if he dies?
I should help him. I'm not gonna. You know? But, yeah, so that was good little off segment from games.
No, so I hate Captain America.
Oh, I hate you.
I had to say that.
I hate you.
I hate
that means you hate America.
No. It means I hate Captain America. Fucking what was it, Roy Rogers?
No.
No?
Roy Rogers? What's wrong with you? No one likes Batman.
That's not true.
I know, a lot of people like Batman. I'm okay with Batman. I think he's cool.
Batman's a fucking man.
Yeah, it's relative.
Yeah, it's relative to the world and him being a fucking man.
Do you bleed?
Yo, did you see any of those?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but your parents do.
Yeah.
I don't, but your parents did.
I thought that
Did you see the rebuttal?
No.
It was like, do you bleed?
Yeah.
And then it's him saying, your parents...
Do?
Yeah, your parents did.
Yeah.
Then he goes, oh, how's your homeworld?
Oh. How did they flip Superman's eyes? Because they flipped Batman's. And it was just like, that is awesome! But yeah. So we'll wrap up here. Thanks for listening, guys. Once again, this is the Last Level Gamescast. Episode 5. Phil, where you at, Phil?
I don't know what that means. I'm in a house right now. You just confused me with your lingo.
Where are you on Twitter?
On Twitter, PhilG1117.
Oh, sidebar. I just thought about this. You need to go back to Bloodborne because...
go back to Bloodborne.
Because the load times have been improved.
Oh, yes.
New patch.
Have you played it with it?
No. I don't think the official patch is out yet.
No, it is. It's out.
Okay. So
it's out because when I turned on my PS4 today to watch Netflix,
it was downloading?
It was, it updated it. It updated some show stuff.
All I've seen that it's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I have way less time to just be pissed and want to break stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a win.
So that's good. But yeah, Phil, you're at Phil G.
1117.
1117. And I know Phil's right now, he's playing a bunch of Diablo. Like
Diablo still. I gotta get my wizard, man.
Yeah, and he's got something else going on.
Oh, yes. It's Saturday.
Yes.
I'm gonna do something called Get Married. I don't know.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever heard of it.
It's gonna be fun! But yeah, and I am at...
Can we...
Yes? God, we are just bad.
If you want a sidebar, I get a sidebar. God.
Okay, fair enough.
We gotta...
Can we go to bar?
The next pod, we gotta talk about...
What?
That.
I don't want to talk about
wedding?
What about it?
And then your gift.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's getting talked about here.
Oh, God. Okay, so now you've given them something to listen out for.
Yeah.
You know?
What's happening?
I'm on Twitter at JROC928, JRock.
Give me shit.
928. I'm still playing a lot of Bloodborne. I didn't beat it by Friday, like I said. I honestly didn't have time. I didn't have time.
Is that called life?
Yeah, I kept trying to make time for it. I haven't even been able to stream it.
Because someone else is getting married soon.
Yeah,
so
that's happening. That's a thing. That's...
What is it, responsibilities and stuff?
Yeah, man, it's weird. But yeah, I'm still playing Bloodborne. I am excited for Witcher. I'm going to play some Shovel Knight that just came out. I'm excited for that.
It was good. I really like Shovel Knight.
Played it? You
It's such a throwback.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of the
best of both worlds.
Clunkiness, of the old games is gone in it.
Okay.
So it's really nice because it's almost like they smoothed out an old game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Phil. I don't. It's going to sound very very little, but I don't like that he has a shovel.
Why?
That's just weird.
That adds to the comedy of it because everyone does. And like everyone has there's different knights and they have. It's good.
I just want to fight Kratos. I gotta find him.
Oh, yeah, I did not fight Kratos.
That's a thing.
Because I could not because I played on the PC.
Whatever. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. This is the Last Level Gamescast. You can find us on Twitter, like we said. Visit our YouTube page, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.